Imagine a wall, not just any wall. A wall 12 kilometers long, 5 meters thick, with 192 towers. A wall that withstood barbarian armies, earthquakes, 60 sieges over 1,000 years. Now imagine that wall falling. It was May 29th, 1453. The sun had not yet risen, and inside the city, the bells tolled for the last time. Constantinople, the queen of cities, the second Rome, the golden shoulder of the Christian world, was about to die. Welcome to the day the medieval world collapsed. It wasn't just a war. It was the end of 1,000 years of empire. And what you are about to hear is the last breath of a civilization. To understand what was lost that day, you first need to understand what Constantinople was. In 1453, the city was already 1,100 years old. It was founded by Constantine the Great in 330 AD to be the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. While Rome fell to the barbarians in the 5th century, Constantinople remained standing. It was the library of the ancient world. The manuscripts of Homer, Plato, Aristotle, all were there, guarded like gold. It was the stronghold of Orthodox Christianity. The Hagia Sophia Basilica, with its floating dome that seemed suspended in the sky, was the largest temple in the world for almost 1,000 years. But Constantinople wasn't just stone and books. It was people. 300,000 people lived within its walls. Greeks, Venetians, Genoese, Jews, Armenians. Merchants who brought silk from China, spices from India, furs from Russia. They were 300,000 souls who woke up every day looking out to sea, to that golden horn that gave the estuary its name, the Golden Horn. 300,000 people who didn't know their days were numbered. On the other side of the walls, a man waited. His name was Mehmed II. He was only 21 years old, but his ambition was as great as the empire he wanted to build. The Turks called Constantinople the Red Apple, the forbidden fruit, the last piece of land needed to complete the Islamic world. On April 6, 1453, Mehmed pitched his tents before the walls. With him, 80,000 soldiers, perhaps 100,000. And something the world had never seen: giant cannons. The largest of them, made by the Hungarian engineer Urban, measured 8 meters in length and fired half-ton stone cannonballs. The problem? It took 3 hours to reload, but when it hit, the earth trembled. For 53 days, Mehmed's cannons hammered the walls, day and night, without stopping. Inside the city, Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos had only 7,000 men, 7 against 80,000. Most were Italian mercenaries, Genoese and Venetian, who were already thinking of fleeing. There were also 400 soldiers sent by the Pope, but they came with one condition: the Orthodox Church had to submit to Rome. The Greeks refused. They preferred to die alone rather than betray their faith. And so it was, divided, hungry, afraid, and with God silent, that they awaited the end. May 28, 1453, eve of the end. What happened that day within the walls defies any rational explanation. The monks of Constantinople had prophesied that the city would fall when the emperor was named Constantine, son of Helena, exactly the name of the current emperor, and that the angel protecting the city would only abandon it when God's will allowed it. Many believed that the angel was still there. That night, Emperor Constantine XI did something no Byzantine ruler had done for centuries. He rode to the Hagia Sophia Basilica, not to pray as emperor, but to ask for forgiveness, publicly. Kneeling on the cold stone floor before priests, monks, and soldiers, he said, "Forgive me if I have ever offended you." Then he received communion, as did the soldiers, as did the women and children who had taken refuge inside the church. That night, Orthodox and Catholics prayed together for the first time in 200 years. The division that had cost the empire so much was forgotten in those final hours. They sang hymns, they lit candles, and they waited. Outside, Mehmed prepared the final attack. He promised 3 days of plunder for his soldiers, 3 days of blood, rape, and pillage. The Turks knew what awaited them, and they smiled. May 29th, 1453, Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the morning, the attack began. First, the volunteer battalions, men thrown in like cannon fodder to tire the defenders. Then, the regular soldiers from Anatolia, more organized, more dangerous. And finally, the Janissaries, the Sultan's personal guard, the best warriors in the Islamic world. There were 10,000 of them, and they had orders not to stop until they reached the walls. Inside the city, the emperor mounted his white horse. But before riding into battle, he did something no Byzantine emperor had ever done. He removed the crown. He removed the purple cloak, the color only emperors could wear. He dressed as a common soldier. Iron armor, helmet without plumes, short sword. He said, according to witnesses, "There is no longer an emperor here, only a man who will die with his brothers." And he rode into the breach. A breach opened by Mehmed's cannons, a crack in the wall near the gate of St. Romanus. There, the Janissaries were already entering. The fight was hand to hand, swords, axes, daggers. Blood flowed over the stones like rainwater. The emperor fought alongside his soldiers. No one knows exactly where he fell. His body was never found. The Turks searched for days. They offered live gold for his head. Nothing. Some Byzantines say that an angel took the emperor inside the wall, where he waits, petrified, until the day the Christians retake Constantinople. Others say that he died as a soldier, anonymous, trampled in the mud. But one thing is certain, he never fled. When the wall fell, hell began. Turkish soldiers invaded the city like a river of iron and blood. They killed everyone in their path, men, women, children. It made no difference. Churches were looted, icons were broken, ancient manuscripts were burned or sold for coins. In Hagia Sophia, thousands of civilians took refuge behind the bronze doors. They believed that the guardian angel would descend from the ceiling to save them. The angel did not descend. The Turks broke down the doors with axes. Inside, priests were still celebrating Mass. Children cried, women prayed. Soldiers killed the priests at the altar. Then they tied up the women to be sold as slaves. The children were taken to the Janissary training camps. A Greek chronicler wrote, "Blood ran through the streets like floodwater. Dogs barked over the dead, and the smell of death rose to the sky." The sky turned black, and the sun was covered for 3 days. Mehmed II entered the city, mounted on a white horse. He rode straight to Hagia Sophia. He dismounted. He went inside. And upon seeing the giant dome, the gold mosaics, the marble pillars, he knelt. Not to pray, but to take a handful of earth and throw it over his turban, as a sign of humility before God. Then he ordered the basilica to be transformed into a mosque, and so it was, and so it remains to this day. what died that day was not just a city, it was a world. The Byzantine Empire lasted 1,123 years, from 330 AD to 1453. It was the last connection to Rome, to ancient Greece, to classical antiquity. When Constantinople fell, Greek scholars fled to Italy. They took with them manuscripts of Plato and Aristotle. These manuscripts helped plant the seeds of the Renaissance. The medieval world collapsed in Constantinople, and from the ruins, the modern world was born. Trade with the East was interrupted. Europeans had to find new routes. Christopher Columbus set sail west 40 years later. What did he find? America. All this was born from the echo of a wall that fell. History is never a full stop. It is always a comma. Constantine XI died without a crown, but with honor. Mehmed II won at 21 and changed the world. Today, Hagia Sophia is no longer a church or a mosque. It's a museum. But the Christian murals still whisper behind the Islamic plaster. And tourists look at the dome and wonder, what was lost here? The answer is simple. An empire was lost. A legend was gained. And the city that was once called New Rome still waits, petrified, for the return of the emperor who was never found. Or perhaps he has already returned. Perhaps he is anyone who refuses the crown to fight alongside those who have nothing. The end of one world, the beginning of another. Constantinople, 1453. Never forget.